Over 2 years ago now, the world changed forever. Now for some, it just looks like the beginning of the Matrix, and well, actually that might be closer to the truth than we realize. Right now, you could actually be missing out on a massive opportunity to be able to get the body that you've always dreamed of. But be careful, because if you use AI wrong, it could actually do the exact opposite, or even worse, injure you for life. So let's not waste any time. Let's pull up ChatGPT. Now, as I go through this process, what I want to show you is, number one, just how to start. Number two, how to actually prompt ChatGPT well and correctly to get what you want. And number three, the major drawback to using AI, but I'm gonna give you a really easy solution for how to get around that. Now, most of the videos that I've seen on this, they miss the most critical component, but I wanna dive into that for you because it'll actually make or break you getting what you want or just completely wasting your time. And as a dad with 4 kids who's trying to stay fit, trying to stay healthy, help other people to do the same, I don't have any time to waste. So I have ChatGPT right now pulled up on my phone, and what we first have to do is just tell it our goal. But one of the most critical things that you need to remember here is to tell the AI how you want it to actually talk to you, because if it doesn't know how to approach you, it's going to be pulling from who knows what data. And right now, we want to actually know how to get shredded, how to get jacked, how to build muscle and stay lean. So we're going to tell it that's what we want and to coach us in that way. Hey, ChatGPT, I want to be able to get shredded and build muscle. Could you help me to put together a plan that will support that goal?
Absolutely. I'd love to help with that. We can break it down into a few key areas. Your workout routine. All right. So for workouts, for strength training, we'll emphasize compound exercises like squats, deadlifts, bench presses, and pull-ups to build muscle efficiently. And then we'll add some high-intensity interval training for that shredded look. How does that sound?
That sounds fantastic. Now, can you coach me just like the guys over at Mind Pump would coach their clients?
Absolutely, I can do that. We'll keep it straightforward, evidence-based, and a little bit fun and motivational. Help you with the details and keep you on track. Let's do this.
Now, hopefully you caught what I just did there, because that's going to be critical in order to make sure that it's coaching you according to a philosophy that's actually going to work. Now, you'll notice, if you haven't heard of the Mind Pump guys, they do a great podcast. You probably have heard of them, but if you haven't, definitely check them out and give them a listen. But if I'm going to have the AI coach me, I want it to use the principles that I know have been proven to work in real life, and not just pulling from all of the data out there on the internet. So I'm going to tell it that's how I want it to coach me. But that's just the beginning. We got to give it a lot more prompts first before we can actually get this plan moving. Hey, ChatGPT. Okay, so as long as you're following the philosophy of the guys over at Mind Pump, I want to make sure that I'm doing the most optimal routine. I'm a dad who's about 37 years old. I weigh about 167 pounds right now. I've only got 2 to 3 hours a week to work out, but I want it to be the most optimal with the least amount of wasted time. Now, I have equipment at home. I have a barbell. I have weights, but mostly I'm just going to be utilizing dumbbells and resistance bands and my body weight. Could you put together the most optimal program for me to build muscle and get shredded?
Absolutely, I can help with that. Given your time constraints and equipment, here's a straightforward plan focusing on compound movements. Here's a weekly plan focusing on full body workouts with minimal equipment. All right, for day 1, let's do 1. Squats with a barbell or dumbbells, 4 sets of 8 to 12 reps. 2. Dumbbell bench press, 4 sets of 8 to 12 reps. 3. Bent over rows with dumbbells, 4 sets of 8 to 12 reps. 4. Push-ups, 3 sets to failure. 5. Plank, 3 sets of 30 to 60 seconds. Focus on good form and progressively increase the weights as you get stronger. How does that sound?
That sounds fantastic. Now, if I don't know how to challenge myself properly, what should be my goal when I go into these workouts? How heavy should I lift? What should I aim for? How do I make sure that I'm actually getting stronger?
Great question. When it comes to challenging yourself, the key is to find a weight that's heavy enough to be challenging, but still allows you to maintain proper form. Here's how you can approach it. 1. Start moderate. Begin with a weight that you can lift for 8 to 12 reps with good form. The last 2 to 3 reps should feel challenging but doable. 2. Progressive overload. Each week, try to increase the weight slightly or add an extra rep or 2. This ensures your muscles are continuously challenged. 3. Listen to your body. If you can easily complete all reps without fatigue, it's time to increase the weight. 4. Track progress. Keep a simple simple log of your workouts, noting the weights and reps. This will help you see improvements over time. Stay consistent and you'll definitely see gains.
Am I the only one who finds this absolutely just stupidly ridiculous? Okay, so now I've got the beginnings of a workout plan, but if you'll notice, it only gave me day 1. So it's going to depend on how long you want to work out. So these are the things that you need to be thinking about. How long do I want to work out? Do I want to work out for 20 minutes a day? Do I want to work out for an hour, like 2 or 3 times a week? That's all stuff that you can put into the AI so that it'll keep honing in that workout. I think I use my kids' treehouse more than they do. So ask some clarifying questions around the workout, but then once you do that, now we really got to clarify, okay, what do you want to do? Do you want to build muscle or do you want to stay lean? Ask the AI what you should do, and let's see what it says. Okay, ChatGPT, so if I'm following that workout, what's going to be the best way for me to get shredded, to really lean down?
To get shredded, your nutrition will be a big factor. You want to focus on a slight calorie deficit, making sure you're getting enough protein to preserve muscle mass. And managing stress will all help. And don't forget to incorporate a bit of cardio, like some HIIT, a couple of times a week to help with fat loss. Consistency is key, and you'll be on track to getting shredded.
So as far as that 2 to 3 hours a week, though, how long are these workouts going to take me if I'm also adding in cardio?
Great question. We can keep each workout pretty efficient. If you do about 3 full body strength sessions of work, each one can be around 45 to 60 minutes. Adding in cardio, maybe another 15 to 20 minutes per session. So you'll stay within that 2 to 3 hour window for the week. It's definitely doable.
Okay, so did you catch what happened there? 2 to 3 hours a week. If I'm doing those 3 full body sessions, 45 minutes to 60 minutes, that right there is that's going to be 3 hours. So now if you're also adding in 15 to 20 minutes, it's going to be way over that. So these are the things that you got to be thinking about, and just continuing to probe it and bring it down, hone it back in, tell it what you want. Now, one of the things that we haven't talked about though is, yeah, this might take care of a basic workout structure, but what do I do about nutrition? Okay, ChatGPT, so what do I do about nutrition though if I want to actually lose weight?
For weight loss, focus on a slight calorie deficit. Here's some tips. 1, track your intake. Use an app to track what you eat. Aim for a moderate deficit of around 250 to 500 calories per day. 2, protein intake. Ensure you're eating enough protein, around 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of body weight, to maintain muscle mass. 3, balanced meals. Include plenty of veggies, healthy fats, and whole grains for energy and satiety. 4, stay hydrated. Drink plenty of water throughout the day. 5, mindful eating. Pay attention to hunger cues and avoid mindless snacking. Consistency with both diet and workouts will help you reach your goals.
Okay, so that's beautiful. So those are some really great tips, but the key here, what we got to ask now is, okay, well, sure, eating a calorie deficit, but what actually is that calorie deficit? So that's where ChatGPT will take you through a process to actually get you close to the right calories, but then it's going to take some work for you from there. But the cool thing is that you can still utilize the AI if you're feeding back into it the data that you're collecting as you're going through this process. So for example, my weights, it's going to give me an idea of where I should be eating calories. It doesn't know exactly, so I'm going to start eating at that calories. Over the next 2 to 3 weeks, I'm going to be tracking my body weight. You can then just input all of the body weights for that week and say, hey, AI, ChatGPT, here's the calories that I was eating, here's my body weights, I want to lose weight, what should I do? Now theoretically, it should be able to tell you what you should actually do if you're not losing weight, or maybe you're losing weight too fast, or maybe you're actually gaining weight. So ChatGPT, based on that, let's say I want to lose about 20 pounds. How fast should I try to lose that 20 pounds?
A safe and sustainable rate of weight loss is about 1 to 2 pounds per week. So for 20 pounds, it would take roughly 10 to 20 weeks, which is about 2.5 to 5 months. This pace helps ensure that you're losing fat and not muscle, and it's easier to maintain in the long run.
I don't know what it just said at the end there, but anyways, that still is pretty much on point as far as what I would recommend. But typically I'm going to want people to be closer to that 1 pound unless you're going to be a little bit on the overweight side. Now this is where the AI can't see what I look like, at least yet. Can't determine what are the other health considerations that I need to be taken into account. Unless, however, I tell it. But again, be careful with what you're sharing with the AI. It still is going to some sort of database. But anyways, don't look to me for all the techie answers. But this is still just the beginning. Let's see what we got next. Hey, so ChatGPT, what should I be eating in order to actually achieve my goal of building muscle and really trying to get shredded.
To build muscle and get shredded, focus on a balanced diet with these key components. 1. Protein. Aim for 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of body weight. Good sources include chicken, fish, lean beef, eggs, Greek yogurt, and plant-based options like lentils and tofu. 2. Carbohydrates. Choose complex carbs like sweet potatoes, oats, quinoa, and brown rice to fuel your workouts and aid recovery. 3. Healthy fats. Include sources like avocados, nuts, seeds, and olive oil for overall health and hormone production. 4. Vegetables. Load up on leafy greens and colorful veggies for vitamins, minerals, and fiber. 5. Hydration. Drink plenty of water throughout the day. Keep your portion sizes in check and aim for nutrient-dense foods to support muscle growth and fat loss. You got this.
Don't you just love how encouraging it is? Now, the cool thing is if you do this on the desktop version, it'll spit out a ton of data, build out a plan, and you can actually have it create it in a downloadable PDF, which is really fantastic. So that way you've always got it accessible. But the next cool thing is actually this. Okay, so based on the recommendations that you just laid out, would you help me figure out my caloric intake to be able to lose that goal weight? And then also put together a meal plan and a shopping list for me?
Absolutely. Let's start by estimating your caloric needs. First, we need to calculate your total daily energy expenditure, TDEE.
Now I'm gonna let him keep talking.
Sure thing. Continuing with the meal plan. Dinner, salmon and quinoa.
Now as he's chatting through that, I'm just gonna put up here on the screen all the detail that is coming out. Now, the crazy thing here is, just so you know, my maintenance calories are actually somewhere around 3,500 calories. So you can obviously see that there's a bit of a discrepancy between what the calculation is coming up with, which this is normal. This is why you got to track for 2 to 3 weeks, figure out what your body weight's doing, and then if you want to, you can feed it back into the AI to actually get it more honed in and more specific to you and your body. But the crazy cool thing is all that it just spat out for you, you've got an entire shopping list, but the key is to then tweak it for you and what you need. Maybe like, I don't like quinoa. I can just ask it to remove quinoa, swap it with something else. Or I also don't really eat brown rice. I actually prefer the white rice better. So that's what I'm going to have it do. Have it swap out that. But there is one huge problem with how the AI is going to coach you. And that's that it depends on what you as the user tell it, which is why I want to keep emphasizing that you've got to be continuing to feed information, because what will happen is that you can get more generic or sometimes inaccurate information, especially depending on the situation that you're in, because it's not a person. It can't see all the different facets of you. It's just giving you the data. But the data is very hard to implement depending on what you're experiencing in your actual life. And we also got to remember that there's a ton of information out there on the internet as far as how to optimally do this. But there are some nuances that an actual personal coach would be able to pick out and decipher for you that the AI is not going to be able to do. But herein lies the major problem with using AI. You as a person, as an individual, almost need to know exactly what it is you're trying to get it to do in order for it to spit out exactly what would be the most optimal program for you. But that's the problem, is you don't know what the optimal program is for you, which is why you want to utilize an AI coach. So to get around this, there's really 2 options that you have. Now, the first is to just keep asking questions, keep probing, keep asking for more specifics, keep honing in the detail, which if you're using the free version of ChatGPT, you're probably going to run out of data before you can actually get to that point. But if you keep asking for more detail based on the latest data, the science-backed routines, and all of that type of stuff, you're going to be able to more closely get what you're looking for. But the big problem there is that it just requires more time. If you're anything like me, I just don't have time to waste on that. Or option number 2 is that you can use a free PDF prompt download guide that I have put together just for you. Now, the cool thing about this is that it's going to give you everything you need, all of the prompts, all of the coaching philosophy, because that's what really matters, for you to simply copy and paste it into your AI, and your ChatGPT is then going to start to coach you like it's me. It's going to become Coach David, coach you in the way that I would. So this actually boils down all of my knowledge and experience and detail, and I took the time to put all of this together so that you don't have to waste time on it. And the best part, of course, it's free. I love free things. Now remember, this is still AI, so it's still not going to be perfect. It's not going to coach you exactly how I would coach you, but it's going to be one step below actually working with me directly, and it's going to get you a lot further than just working with the generic ChatGPT. So click right up over here or down in the description below to grab that. But as always, just go get strong. But first, go give your kids a hug because I think that family matters more. And I will see you over here on the download.